Vida Más Fina.
Start of the second quarter in Seattle, and the Seahawks have a 7-0 lead on the Giants. This will be the first offensive play for the Seahawks in the last 24 minutes. Geno Smith is 2 for 4 so far today for 22 yards. And they'll start this drive at the 22-yard line. It's a handoff to Walker, and Walker cannot escape Tyler Nubin. A moment ago, AJ with Brian Dable.
First downs took 10 minutes off the clock. Daniel Jones showed a lot of poise and patience. Talk me through that 4th and 1 called it.
Yeah, I had a direct run, and they made a stop. Offense is moving the ball well. Obviously, like to get points down there and not give up a 100-yard return, but it's the start of the game. We got to do a good job of finishing the drive.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Seattle came into today with no takeaways in their last 3 games, tied for their longest streak in the last 30 years, but they get a big one at the goal line. Geno Smith, and that pass is complete. It was Jackson Smith-Njigba with his 26th catch of the year. It'll be 3rd down for Seattle.
It gets hard sometimes as an offense when you're sitting on the sideline for that long. Yeah. And you think you're getting the ball back, but all of a sudden your defense scores a touchdown, so you're sitting again.
Take it out. Where you going? Where you going? Take it out. Drag out.
Smith in the shotgun on 3rd down and 8. Blitz is coming. Smith sees it and throws it away. Giants bringing the heat with Jason Pinnock and Drew Phillips. And Seattle now 0 for 2 on 3rd downs today.
Yeah, they're probably talking about intentional grounding here with Geno Smith. But they don't throw a flag. The Giants are not as pressure-filled as they were a year ago when Wink Martindale was their defensive coordinator, but they still come after opposing quarterbacks a lot. Jason Pinnock, who came on that play, he's leading the team in sacks with 3.
Smith-Marset back deep to receive the punt for the Giants. Good kick by Dixon. Smith-Marset from the 21. And he's taken down backwards. Trey Brown, the special teams play for the Seahawks. A 55-yard punt and a loss of 2 on the return. Experience the untold story of one of TV's most iconic characters. Austin Stowell, who was on Tops this morning, stars in NCIS Origins. Series premieres CBS Monday, October 14th, and streaming on Paramount+. There's a lot of familiar faces for Giants fans on the Seattle sideline. Leonard Williams, Julian Love, Jonathan Hankins, and Geno Smith all spent time with the Giants. And talking to Dexter Lawrence last night, you can tell the impact that Leonard Williams especially made on the Giants defense. Lawrence called him one of his best friends and a guy that he said taught him how to grow up in the NFL. On 1st down, the Giants run it and going nowhere.
And Andrew, as you talk about playing against your former teammates, a lot of times in the media we'll call these games revenge games. And then you start to talk to guys and you hear about their relationships, and Dexter Lawrence saying Leonard Williams taught him to understand his own why. There's a lot of love and a lot of friendships, but from my own experience, there's nothing better than beating your former team and having a good game against them.
Second down and 8. Jones on the slant. He's got a man, and that is Slayton, who's a yard shy of a 1st down. Pickup of 7 for the veteran Slayton.
Darius Slayton is filling a lot of roles that Malik Neighbors would do, and when you get a single high look and it's off man coverage, that ball's coming to him 80%, 90% of the time.
3rd and 1. Jones keeps it and gets the 1st down. So Daniel Jones already with his 5th rush today for 16 yards, and that gives him exactly 2,000 yards rushing in his career, extending his franchise record for a Giants quarterback.
Yeah, that mesh was a little sloppy. Daniel Jones looked like he wanted to hand that one off, but decided to keep it. You get the sense that Daniel's taking this game personally. He's putting it on his shoulders to try to make plays happen.
Here's Tracy. Good vision, and there he goes. Tyrone Tracy into Seattle territory and runs out of bounds. Julian Love forced him out, but in his first NFL start, Tracy with a big pickup.
Yeah, you'll see Tyrone Tracy just getting downhill. It's a duo run, starts front side, cuts it back at the last moment, makes the switch to his left arm so the ball is secured. Big run for Tyrone Tracy, getting into positive territory for this Giants offense.
A 27-yard pickup for Tracy. He had 29 yards rushing in the first 4 games of the year. Here's Gray. Pinball down at the 40 by Uchenna Nwosu, who's making his season debut. Well, families affected by Hurricane Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today to Hurricane Helene relief efforts by going to redcross.org/NFL. Second down and 8. Play fake. Jones with time. Got a wide open man, and that is Johnson again inside the 20-yard line. Julian Love on the tackle, but Johnson goes for 22.
You start running the ball and you hit plays. You hand the ball off to Taylor. He makes a play. You hand it off to Gray. Watch these linebackers and these DBs as they're coming down, as they go to the play fake to the running back right here, and then those guys come flying down, leave the tight end wide open over the middle right there. A really good job using the play action. That's what's been successful against the Seattle defense so far this season.
We asked Brian Dable last night, hey, you're going to go to the tight ends more? He goes, we'll see what Seattle does. Well, whatever they're doing, he likes the matchup, and there goes Jones. Daniel Jones inside the 10. First and goal for the Giants after a pickup of 12.
I got to tell you, as exciting as it is to see a quarterback run, you just get the sense he's getting ready to take a shot. Now, he's making the right decisions in these zone reads. He's pulling it when he needs to. But he's laying into contact. Yeah, it makes you a little nervous for quarterback.
Yeah, go down. And I think some of this, you have the Thursday night game, you have a 10-day layoff until your last one. You start to look at what are the things that are successful that you can do. We've seen one of the adjustments is letting him run the ball more.
Play fake. Jones looking the other way. Fires. He's got Robinson. And Robinson's in. Touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson. 2 great drives for the Giants, except the first one ended in misery. This one, they find the end zone.
Wan'Dale Robinson's the second leading receiver on this team, and it's only because of Malik Neighbors, but this is just a crosser, a shallow crosser. The misdirection in the backfield. Daniel Jones not only faked the handoff interiorly, which sucked up the defense, the linebackers, then he rolled out to his right and threw that thing back. You can tell what the game plan is offensively. They're trying to get the Seattle defense thinking something that they're not actually doing.
Joseph with the extra point. The Giants with 168 yards of offense so far to 27 for Seattle. Robinson for 6, and we're tied at 7. Paramount Plus streams the NFL on CBS every Sunday at home or on the go all season long, right through the AFC Championship game. 9:09 to go first half, and the Giants have tied it after Jones connects with Wan'Dale Robinson. Joseph will kick it away. Chenault and D. Williams back deep for Seattle. Chenault is going to return this one at the 20. Chenault crosses the 25. Well, Geno Smith made 1 start for the Giants in 2017, and it was an unforgettable one in Giants history. He ended Eli Manning's consecutive start streak at 210. Giants lost to the Raiders. The next day, Ben McAdoo and GM Jerry Reese were fired. Eli Manning was renamed the starter. We asked Geno Smith about that on Friday. He said it was a whirlwind of a week. He said it was actually Eli Manning who came into the film room and told Geno that he would be starting that game. Smith over the middle, and that pass is caught. But Geno said that he has a lot of gratitude for both McAdoo and Reese for believing in him, to give him that start. He said a lot of people weren't happy about it, but he also said that it taught him a lot about the NFL. And you look at what Geno Smith has done since then. It's an incredible story.
Yeah, one of the greatest quotes of all time. They tried to rip me off. I didn't write back.
Charbonnet picked up 7 on first down. It's 2nd and 3. Smith back to the air, and Tyler Lockett with the ball out, incomplete. As we check in with A.J. Ross.
And speaking with Geno and his experience with the Giants, he talked about his journey being one that only he could go through, and now a lot of younger guys find inspiration in all the adversity and obstacles that he overcame to now be here in Seattle and having the success that he has had recently. Like you mentioned, Andrew, he credits those former guys in the Giants organization, his quarterback coaches over the years, and now he is where he is today, guys.
3rd down and 3. Walker out of the backfield, and he picks up the first down. Hit hard along the sideline by Adoree Jackson, but the Seahawks moved the sticks.
And it's felt like we've been waiting for this first down for a minute.
Yeah.
They've been on and off the field. This offense had 500 yards a week ago. So you know that the capabilities are there. They're one of the best big play offenses, especially with DK Metcalf in the NFL, but they've been stymied so far in these first 2 quarters.
First down for Seattle. Geno, and he's got A.J. Barner into Giants territory, and another Seattle first down. Jason Pinnock on the tackle after a gain of 13.
And to A.J.'s point, Geno is a guy that he gives everybody on this offense confidence. So even though they're struggling, those guys believe that with him as their leader, he can go out there and figure it out. He said guys all across the league come up to him and talk about the inspiration that he gives them. Finds his tight end right there over the middle as they're starting to get into rhythm and get this drive going.
Geno to Charbonnet, low throw, it bounces and it's incomplete. Geno Smith entered today leading the NFL in pass attempts, pass completions, and passing yards, and was 2nd in the NFL in completion percentage behind only Jaden Daniels. Second down and 10. Smith and another completion. This one to Jake Bobo. Bobby Okereke on the tackle for the Giants, and another 3rd down coming.
Shane Bowen, the Giants defensive coordinator, last 3rd down, had a bunch of guys at the line of scrimmage and decided to bring pressure. Geno wasn't able to get anything going. Do they dial it back up and go back to that and force him to make a quick decision and get the ball out of his hands quick? And we haven't seen much from DK Metcalf so far in this first half.
There's Ryan Grubb, Seattle's offensive coordinator, after he spent the last 2 years as the OC at Washington. 3rd down and 7. Smith, pressure coming, and he's sacked. Dexter Lawrence got back there. His 4th sack of the season.
Yeah, this is tough duty for center Connor Williams on Dexter Lawrence, and he is not double teamed. We talked to Dex last night. We asked him about the double teams. He said they better double team me, because if you don't, it's going to look like you didn't show up for work. I asked him how much he weighed. 360, he said.
Well, his wife Donna is an executive chef, so those extra pounds, he's eating some good food at home. Smith-Marset bobbles it, catches it, and now crushed at the 21.
As long as Dexter can do the sexy Dexy after he gets a sack, he can weigh what he wants.
Timeout on the field. in Seattle, Tiki Barber. He's been here before as well. His entire 10-year career with the Giants. This game in 2005, 178 scrimmage yards. Wasn't the best day for our colleague Jay Feely, but Tiki, I know it's special for you to call a Giants game.
It is great to call a Giants game. I ran out of bounds thinking, that's good enough for Jay Feely.
Trying to avoid Jay Feely talk today, but
Just throwing Jay under the bus.
poor Jay.
I love Jay to death.
He's probably playing golf right now anyway. Tracy on the carry to the 25-yard line. How about the Giants on their last drive?
Yeah, the last drive was exceptional, just like the first one before the fumble at the end. But they finally are getting their tight ends more involved. Theo Johnson with a big catch to get down in the red zone. And then Daniel Jones taking it himself for the 5th time in the game and then hitting Wan'Dale Robinson on a crosser for the touchdown and an equalizer.
We're seeing a little bit today. Remember, Saquon Barkley once called Daniel Jones Vanilla Vic, and we're seeing a little bit of that right now in this game.
Reek Woolen injured after that last play. We'll step aside and come right back. Rookie Nehemiah Pritchett has come on the field to replace Reek Woolen, who walked off under his own power, went right into the blue medical tent to be examined. We'll get an update from AJ as soon as we have one. Just 7 defensive snaps this year for Pritchett, as Daniel Jones and the Giants are looking at a 2nd down and 7. Jones to Robinson. He slips away from Rayshawn Jenkins and picks up the 1st down. So a missed tackle by Jenkins, and Dotson comes back to finish him off after a gain of 8.
That's where Wan'Dale Robinson is at his best. Rayshawn Jenkins is going to drop down at that safety position, but his ability to just make the first guy miss. 5'8", a guy that's low to the ground, keeps his pads behind him, and is always leaning forward. Built more like a running back than a wide receiver out there.
Daniel Jones is 12 out of 13 for 123 yards. Jones, and he underthrows Tracy. Well, one thing we have not seen yet for the Giants is that deep shot. Daniel Jones missed a couple of them against the Cowboys last time out. He talked this week about feeling like he was in a better spot, and with Jalen Hyatt out there, maybe that's the guy to go take a shot.
Possibly, and I think that last play was setting up to be one, but the Seattle Seahawks brought a green-like pressure when they see the running back go to the flat. The guy who's covering him just comes and brings pressure, so Daniel Jones just had to turf it into the ground.
On the bottom of your screen, Hyatt is matched up with Trey Brown. They go the other way to Robinson, who stumbles a bit, still on his feet, and brought down at the 37 by Draymond Jones.
And you mentioned that matchup down at the bottom with Jalen Hyatt and Trey Brown. Safeties are low. If I see this again for the Giants, you might just fade that one out there.
And that's where you got to start to question what's the confidence level, because we know when Malik Neighbors has been out there so far this season, one